Hi Sparkies, and welcome to another Council Time. Today we are going to be talking about Noah and his ark. But before we jump into our lesson, I want to do a quick experiment. So this is a bowl of water, and I have a couple objects here, and we're going to see if they float. So the first object that I have is a rock. Do you think the rock's going to float? Yay or nay? Yes or no? Let's try it out. Nope. It's at the bottom. It cannot float. All right, let's try a tough one. Let's try a coloring crayon. Do you think the coloring crayon's gonna float or sink? Let's try it out. Oh. I'm going to say that one is sinking because I went towards the bottom, but it isn't touching the bottom. All right, what about a jumbo crayon? That one's little. Maybe it sunk because it's little. Ready? Let's try it out. Nope, that one went straight to the bottom. All right, let's do three more, okay? What about a little thing of Play-Doh? It's pretty tiny. No, it's sinking towards the bottom. Let's take that one out. I don't know if Play-Doh containers are waterproof. Don't want to ruin our Play-Doh. Don't do that to your Play-Doh at home, kids. Don't. All right. What about a plastic toy car? Do you think this is gonna float? Let's see. Does plastic float? This plastic does. Gotta make space for other things. All right, final object. This is a wooden car. So we know our plastic car floats, but do you think our wooden car floats? Let's test it out. It floats. All right. And that fun experiment is going to take us into our lesson today. Whew. Get all the wet stuff off. Hopefully I don't get my lesson wet. All right. So remember, wood and plastic float. Now, back in Noah's time, they did not have plastic. So we're going to focus on the wood and how it floated on top of the water. After Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve went on to have more children. These children had families of their own, and soon the world was full of people. The people who lived on earth during the time had forgotten about God. Instead, they chose to reject God, and they lived wicked lives. All their thoughts were evil. This made God very sad. He became very sorry he made people. He decided he would send a flood so he could start over again. At the time, there was one man who had not forgotten God. His name was, do you have a guess? Noah! Noah was a good man who loved God. God said to Noah, "People are doing wicked, evil, wrong things. I'm sorry I made them. I will send a flood to destroy the world so I can start over." God gave Noah instructions to build an ark. The ark was a large boat to be made out of wood, so it would float on top of water. And it would be coated with tar on the inside and out to help it be waterproof. It was 450 feet long. It's really big. 75 feet wide, 45 feet tall. It was a big, big boat. It would have rooms in it, a roof, and a door. Think about how many football fields or basketball courts you could fit into it. It's over 4 times longer and a little bit wider than a basketball court's width. It's also if you think about it, the same length and about a third of the width of a football field, if that helps you picture it. Otherwise, just picture a really, really, really big wooden boat with a roof and lots of rooms and a door. God told Noah to put 2 of every kind of unclean animals and 7 pairs of every clean animal and birds onto the ark. And not only does he have to fit all of those animals, but he has to have enough food to feed the animals, and he has to have enough food to feed himself and his family. The instructions God gave Noah must have seemed really strange to him, but Noah didn't question it. He obeyed God. Other people made fun of Noah. He would probably have looked really silly building a giant boat when the earth had never flooded. But Noah trusted God, and he obeyed him. When Noah had finished building this big ark, he loaded in all the food, just like God told him, all the animals, and his family. Then God shut the door, and the rain began to fall. It rained for many, many weeks. The ark floated on the water high above the land, many feet higher than the highest mountain peak. Then, after 40 days and 40 nights, the rain stopped. Little by little, the water started going down. Noah and his family and all of the animals had floated safely in the ark for 150 days. That's about 5 months. That's a long time to be stuck in a boat. God sent a great wind over the earth, and the waters gradually began to dry up. Soon the ark came to rest. After about 40 days, Noah opened the window and sent out a raven, a big black bird. The big, strong bird flew quickly across the land. However, it did not find a place to rest. That means it wasn't time to get out of the ark yet. Then, 7 days later, Noah took a dove and sent the dove, the little white birds that you usually see. The dove flew around for a very short time, and then she could not find anywhere to rest and return to the ark. Noah waited another week and sent the dove out of the window again. At last, the dove returned to the window of the ark. In her beak, she had an olive leaf picked from a tree. What does that mean? That means they are all good to come out of the ark. Noah and his family waited. God shut the door, and only God could open it again. One day, the sun was shining brightly. Noah heard a creaking sound. The door was opening. What a sight that must have been. All of these animals coming out of the boat, out from all their rooms. All of the animals came out of the ark and hurried away to make their new homes for themselves. Noah and his family built an altar to a special place to offer God special offerings to him and say thank you for saving their lives. God gave Noah and his family a promise. Never again will I send a great flood, all that water, all that rain, to destroy all living things. Suddenly the sky was lit with a beautiful colored rainbow. This is a sign to remind you always of my promise. Whenever you look up and see a rainbow in the sky, think of my promise to you. So whenever you see a rainbow, try and spot one this week. And remember, God created those to be a reminder of us of his promise to never flood the earth again. If you have any questions, make sure to ask your parents, ask a Sparky leader, maybe an older sibling, or go over the lesson of Noah again and try and pick out the answer yourself. All right, see you next week.